Hello YouTube! I'd like to compare two propane torches today. Most of YouTube reviews are on Bernzomatic torches, and it's really hard to find anything on the stuff that's sold in our Aussie market here. So I got myself a couple. One is from Cigweld BlueJet 407, that top of the line torch from them, and another one is from Bossweld, the stuff they sell in Bunnings. Yeah, so here they are, look similar but different. Let's cover the basics. The costs, the Bossweld one is 87 bucks, the Cigweld one is 102 bucks, which is $15 more. In the US dollars, it's about, what, 55 and 70 bucks. Warranty. Actually really hard to find warranty on the Bossweld one. It's not written. I had to ask Bunnings staff to check in their backend systems, and they said it's 12 months, so 1 year. Cigweld, written on the website, 3 years, which is good. Now for the output, the box claims it gets 12,000 BTU here, and Bossweld doesn't have anything written on that, not on their website as well. So, I take the BTUs with the grain of salt, because my air conditioner can also output 12,000 BTUs, but obviously it won't heat any metal. So it's not just about the amount of heat, it's also about the heat density. The next, let's look at the construction. So both made from aluminum. The Bossweld is a solid body, right? You screw your stuff in, you screw your gas canister in, and that's it. Now, in terms of quality, if you look at how the bend was done, it looks like somebody just bent it over their knee or something. And if you look at the knob, then it's not exactly straight. It's off the line. And all they needed to do is just to undo this one small grab screw and put it straight. So looks like it was made by people who didn't really care. This thing itself is also like the pipe is pressed into the brass stuff, and it's a bit loose. I can swivel it left and right easily. On the positive side, the button is really nice to press. It's not too firm. The spring is not too firm and not too soft either. So just very satisfying. You goes in, opens the valve, and you click. Cigweld on the other side. It's there are two parts that are bolted together. You can see the screws. Where the screw? Yeah, you can see the screw holes here, and the tube is properly bent, so it looks like it was bent on a bending machine. Yeah, because this pass is smooth. Everything here except for the button is actually metal. So the button and this nut is made of plastic. I'm not sure why. It feels very cheap. I've seen so many YouTube videos where this knob gets a bit melted over time. So that's why I like that here the knob is from brass, but this nut kind of spoils everything. In the worst case, I think it's going to be easy to fabricate. Anyhow, otherwise, here this one got smooth finish. This one got a bit of an orange peel finish. Not slippery, very nice to hold. I also like that on at Cigweld, the handle itself is a bit longer, so if I grab it, and my hands are not that big, you see my little finger kind of slips out, so it also almost feels like grabbing it like that. For Cigweld, you have proper amount of space for all your fingers, and for people who have bigger hands, that's gonna be an advantage. Right, before we go into operation, I think the last part to mention is sustainability in a way. So again, the Cigweld one is is all screwed in two parts, so in theory, if it breaks after the warranty period, you can undo the screws here, pull it apart and do some maintenance. Bossweld, on the other hand, it's a solid construction, and people who tried to pull apart the Bernzomatic ones say that below this seal is actually some kind of crush-in nut that's not meant to be unscrewed. So obviously they don't want you to fix it if it breaks. Okay, let's go to an operation. Now, this is explicitly said to be compatible both with propane and MAPP gas. For this thing, it says it's MAPP, but if you pull out the leaflet that it comes with, it explicitly says here you should use it only with MAPP or propane gas, from which I can infer that it's compatible with both. And it does in a way, as I'll show in a moment. Right, so let's do MAPP first. Screw it in, open. It works. Let's try full speed. Yeah, full power. It works and the flame is reasonable. Yeah. Now here comes deficiencies of this particular torch. One thing I don't like about it is that mixing chamber is open. So basically what happens, there is a tiny hole. Once it focuses, yeah, there is a tiny hole right in that flat plate inside, and the stream of gas goes out and sucks the air from these outer holes. It mixes in and gets burned at the end. The problem is, look again carefully, you see that residual flame? Again. You see? I don't like when these chambers are open. They're too close to you, they're too open to dust and other gunk that can go inside. So on Cigweld, it's closed, so actually the mixing chamber is actually inside there, and the air enters in through these small holes here on both sides. So much better design. They call it like a breakaway point in case your torch falls down. It should potentially get broken here. Don't see how it's a good thing. You know, I'd rather torch stay in one piece, and because if it breaks down, basically you have an open flame shouting, like spraying around here. Another deficiency of the Bossweld, and same as Bernzomatic, it has that weird, yeah, maybe I'll show you with the torch. It has that hole here, right here. And the moment if you screw it in and your gasket is not too firm or something, so the excess gas will just flow in out of this space. So basically you'll have a stream of gas flowing out between your hands. And I've seen one video of a guy on YouTube where his Bernzomatic torch just randomly started spraying gas out of this hole while he was working, and his hand got on fire. So I'm not sure why on earth they would put some kind of vent hole right where a person's arm would be. Let's try Cigweld. Again, MAPP gas, which it explicitly says it's compatible with. Yeah, it can go quite low or can go quite high. It also lights up when on maximum. Yeah, lights up no problem. There are no any residual flames going either way. You see, the moment I stop, it immediately cuts off. There is no residual flame, nor at the end, nowhere in the center. Yeah, you can see what I was telling you about the size, so it really fits nice. You got space for all my fingers. I didn't weigh them, but actually Cigweld one, why it looks larger, it's actually lighter. So again, a bit more ergonomical. Now before we go to propane, they all have that swirl nozzles. The nozzle is pretty much similar on each of them. And you can see the small, how it's called, like a fans that swirl, make the flames swirl. Right, otherwise nozzle is the same. The threads are incompatible, so you cannot really switch the nozzles. But yeah, otherwise you can see that they're almost the same. So let's check about propane. Okay, open on full. Lights no problem, no residual flames. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, lights on the small flame as well. And of course it has a lock, like they all do, yeah. Let's try Bernzomatic, sorry, not Bernzomatic, the Bossweld. Currently it's open on full. You can see the flame looks a bit weird. And it actually almost never lights up when the valve is fully open. So if I'll close it and show you again the flame on full. You can see that it's probably not really designed for propane. Again, the Bernzomatic one, according to YouTube, works just fine with propane, but the Bossweld one doesn't. It looks like that the MAPP pressure is lower than the propane pressure, and I couldn't find any reference on the liquefied vapor pressure for the MAPP. The only one reference I found that says about 95 psi at room temperature, and for propane it's 100 something. So the pressures look similar, but that doesn't work on doesn't work with propane. If the valve is fully open or even halfway open. Yeah, I tried to switch nozzles. It helps a bit because for the Cigweld one, the fan is a bit closer to the base, and here it's a bit closer to the tip of the nozzle. So I thought it's the nozzle, but no, it's not the nozzle. It's just this torch probably outputs too much or too little. I don't know. It doesn't work good with propane. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. So I'll be returning the Bossweld one. I think the Cigweld one, costing only $15 more, comes with 3 times better warranty, is safer. It doesn't have this residual spill of flame. Again, you can watch the propane flame. You see, when I release, it takes another half a second for the residual flame to burn. And again, Cigweld is immediate. Immediate, yeah. And when you use MAPP, then with the MAPP gas, the residual flame went all the way down to the mixing chamber. So anyhow, again, I think the winner is definitely a Cigweld here. It's a better warranty, better ergonomics, better durability because you can take it apart, works properly both with MAPP and propane, and yeah, and I think paying just $15 for something you're gonna use for years is a good bargain. So yeah, I'll be returning the Bossweld and keeping the Cigweld. I hope it helps you to figure out your choices of torches, because again, for Aussie market, this is really not much info for the stuff that's sold here. Cheers!